What's up, guys? I'm back from my trip in Arizona, and as promised, I'm back with some value-filled videos that is really gonna change the perspective on self-improvement for you, make self-improvement as easy as possible for you. So, yeah, I'm here back with a full self-improvement guide, and this is literally a video that I wish I had when I was first starting self-improvement, but very much so if you are 2 years into your self-improvement, 3 years into your self-improvement, 5 years into your self-improvement, this video is still very much applicable to you because I do talk about those stages. But yeah, let's get right into it. So you can see I have this on a Google Sheet, and if you've seen First Man's self-improvement guide, it's very similar to this, but instead of doing like ages and like 16 to 30, I just did stages of self-improvement. So 0 to 6 months, 6 months to a year, 1 to 2 years, 2 years to 3 years, 3+ years. And me personally, I'm about 2.5 years on my self-improvement journey. But the reason I didn't do ages is because I'm 18 years old. I'm not going to be talking about what a fucking 30-year-old should be doing in his life. But yeah, this is kind of like a guide to the guide. So we have a low impact, or this is basically just saying like the impact it has on your life. So we have low impact, which means it's not going to change much in your life at that point. It's not going to change much. It's not going to do much for you in that stage of self-improvement. We have medium impact. This is kind of like, okay, it's going to do a little bit to you, but it's not something that is that important for your stage. And then we have high impact. It's life changing at the stage of self-improvement. It's life changing. And then we have top priority. These are things that you should definitely be doing at the stage, like no doubt about it. So yeah, let's get right into it. So we have different sections right here. We have the basics, bad habits, actionables, mental. Now, basics is basically the fundamentals. Actionables is things you can take action on today, literally. And then mental is just different mindsets you can have. And you can't see it because my webcam, or my camera. And we just have bad habits. So, and then at the very bottom, we have a business tier list that I'm going to go through at the end of the video, but do not skip through because everything I'm talking about is going to tie into that at the end. So yeah, let's get right into it. So the basics. Now, like I said, these are just the fundamentals of self-improvement. These are things that you pretty much do at any stage of self-improvement. But the first one we have here is weightlifting/fitness. Now, weightlifting/fitness is a core fundamental for anybody, not even if they're not on self-improvement. It's just, bro, stay healthy. Like, it's pretty self-explanatory. Like, if you are obese or even overweight, like it's just not good for you, man. Like you're gonna have health problems. It's just better to be in shape. You look better, you feel better. So no doubt, like weightlifting and fitness is a top priority and high impact throughout your whole self-improvement journey. But the reason I have it top priority for your first year is because weightlifting is going to help you build discipline. It's going to help you build a strong mind. So for that first year, you really need to focus on your fitness and weightlifting. Now, if you are just starting out with weightlifting, I definitely recommend you look for a workout plan. And bro, once you get a workout plan, just go. Like, a lot of the things you're going to tell yourself, like, oh, what if people are looking at me and all this? Bro, I promise you right now, nobody cares about what you're doing. Nobody's looking at you. And if anything, if you need help, bro, people are gladly to help you in the gym, bro. So yeah, that first year, just focus on weightlifting and fitness. And the reason I don't have a top priority for the 1 to 3 year sections is just because those years is usually when people try to dial in on business. So once you pretty much built that foundation with fitness, it's like, I'm not saying neglect it, but it's just not a top priority anymore. Like, your top priority is business, obviously. So yeah. The next one, we have meditation. Now, my opinions on meditation are mixed. I definitely think when you're first starting out, it should be a top priority, and it's definitely a high impact because once you first start meditating, you have a different level of clarity in your mind, and you just become better with decision making in general. So definitely when you're first starting out, it is high impact on your life. It should be a top priority habit that you should be doing. But you can see as you go along your self-improvement journey, it does tail off a little bit. Now, It's medium impact for your 6 months to 2 year range, because it's kind of like you've already reaped the benefits of it when you first started, and you should definitely still be doing it, but it's just not going to have that much of an impact on your life anymore. And then at 2 to 3 years, I just have a low impact for the simple reason, and this is me personally, obviously fine tune this to your needs specifically. Don't take this for gospel or anything. Use this as a guide. But I have a low impact for 2 to 3 years is because at this point in my self-improvement journey, I really only use meditation as a tool rather than a habit, if you know what I mean. So basically, when I just have a cluttered mind or I just need to take a step back from the real world, I just use meditation as a tool to calm my mind. Now, does this mean that, oh, I completely ditch meditation? I do it once a month? No, I still do it 2 to 3 times a week, but it's just not a high leverage activity for me anymore, if that makes sense. Moving on to journaling. Journaling is it's so key, bro. Journaling is your one opportunity to be 100% authentic with yourself and take 100% self accountability. And the reason this is because nobody should see your journal, bro. Your journal is personal to you. Now, I have it high impact, top priority for your first year of self improvement. That's because for your first year of self improvement, when you're first starting out, you most likely don't have any self accountability. And journaling is a way to build self accountability. It's also a great way to track your progress. You can literally journal about anything. In my Discord, I have a guide to journaling. Go join that, by the way. It's in the description. But journaling is key through your first 2 years of self improvement. It's a top priority for your first year of self improvement. And I only have a medium impact just because, like, it's just journaling becomes like this thing where it's just I journal when I need to. I don't journal. I don't force myself to journal. I don't make it a daily habit to journal. And some people might disagree with that, but that's just my personal opinion. Like I said, fine tune this to your needs. Moving on to reading. Reading is a great way to gain knowledge, obviously. And again, I have a full reading guide in my description or in my Discord. And I also have a reading guide posted on this channel, how to properly read on self-improvement. But you can see for the first year of self-improvement, I don't recommend that you read that much, because for that first year of self-improvement, you probably have struggled to take action in the past. And if you don't take action, reading is completely useless to you, for the simple fact that you gain all this knowledge and you do absolutely nothing with it. So I have it medium impact. You can read, definitely read if you want to, bro. I'm not telling you don't read at all. Like, you can't read for your first year. Read if you want to, but just keep in mind that reading without taking action is completely useless. And then moving on to 1 to 3 years range. Like I said, this is usually when people try to start businesses. So reading is very, very important. Reading business books like Millionaire Fastlane, How to Win Friends and Influence People, books on psychology, all that shit. I have a book list in my Discord. Go look at that. But yeah, reading is very key, and it should be a top priority for your 1 to 3 year bracket range. And also at this point, like, you pretty much done a lot of the self-improving at this point. So it's kind of like, what more is there to self-improvement? And the way you keep improving is learning. And reading provides that learning aspect to self-improvement. That's why things like jiu-jitsu and martial arts become so addicting, because there's so much to learn about it. And there's many ways to grow. There's many pivots you can take. It's the same with reading. There's a lot you can learn from 400 to 600 pages in a book. You get someone's whole life experience, all the mistakes they made, what they've done to become successful. You get all that condensed into 400 pages. So yeah, reading is key for that 1 to 3 year range. And then the final one in the basics, good sleeping habits. This is self-explanatory, bro. If you do not have good sleeping habits, you are going to struggle. I have it high impact, top priority throughout your whole self-improvement journey. Always prioritize sleep. Do not fall victim to the hustle culture narrative. We're like, oh, I need to work 12 hours a day. I need to work into 3 a.m. Bro, I'm telling you right now, if you simplify your life, like I'm simplifying self-improvement for you, simplify your life, you do not have to fall into hustle culture. You do not have to work 12-hour days, bro. I work 4 hours a day max. And obviously I work more hours some days. I work less hours some other days. But for the most part, I work 4 hours a day now. And I will link a video, or I have it in the top card up here or whatever. It's a video Danko made, explaining this very well. But yeah, good sleeping habits. Just keep in mind there's 4 pillars to good sleeping habits: nighttime routine, going to sleep at the same time, wake up at the same time, and a morning routine. Your nighttime routine is simply just for winding down. Going to bed at the same time every night is just signaling to your body like, okay, start getting tired now. I go to bed almost every day at 10 p.m., if not 10:30. And by 9:30, 9:45, my body's tired, my eyes are heavy. I'm ready to just go to bed. So this allows me to fall asleep within 2 to 5 minutes. And then waking up at the same time, same thing. If you gain the ability to wake up without an alarm, you'll have so much better days, because your alarms most likely just jolt you out your sleep, jolt you out of deep sleep, and that's why you feel tired even after getting 8 hours of sleep. So waking up at the same time every day and building that circadian rhythm is really gonna help you out, and waking up without an alarm. And then what was the last one? Morning habit or morning routine. Yeah, morning routine is just a great way to start the day, really solidify this circadian rhythm. And the only reason I say morning routine is because in the morning you should be stepping outside and getting sunlight. And you might be saying, oh, I live in such and such and it's always cloudy here. Bro, if you can see outside, there's sunlight. So step outside, and if it's cloudy, bro, instead of 10 minutes, do 15 minutes. Like, stop making excuses. Moving on to the next section, actionables. Now, these are things, like I said, that you can take action on today. These are things that are like it's actionable things you can do that will improve your life almost immediately. So first one I have here is hygiene. Now, hygiene should be a top priority. You can see I have a medium impact on your life, and I'm going to explain that in a second. But it's high impact, top priority when you start first taking care of yourself. Because if you don't take care of yourself, it shows that if you don't take care of yourself, it shows you have no self-respect for yourself. So that first 6 months, definitely prioritize taking care of yourself. Get good clothes. Make sure you smell good. Make sure your teeth look good. Make sure your teeth are clean. What else? Have a nice haircut. Is just basic fundamental stuff. Get clear skin. I plan to make a full hygiene guide eventually. But I have it high impact, top priority for the simple fact that for that first 6 months you start taking care of yourself, people notice. You know, when I first started taking care of myself, I used to just walk outside without doing my hair. I'd have dirty clothes on and shit. But when I first started taking care of myself, I started smelling good. I started having decent haircuts and stuff, and having clear skin, smooth skin, soft skin. People like compliment it all the time. They're like, "Oh my God, your skin is so soft. How you have clear skin?" All that shit, and it is nice. Like it's a good little ego boost or a good confidence boost for yourself. But you can see it have a medium impact for that simple reason. Like as you move on, I have a medium impact for the simple reason that it's just become standard. Like it's expected that you have good hygiene. Like you should not neglect your hygiene. So yeah. Next, moving on to articulation. So this is learning how to speak, learning how to influence people, speaking into a camera like I'm doing right now. And I have a low impact for your first year because, like I said, that first year, you should be focused on building discipline, building the fundamentals, building good habits, quitting the bad habits. So it's not really that important that you have good articulation for that first year of self-improvement, because it's not that important that you have good articulation for the simple fact that you're still probably talking to your degenerate friends and you're still probably using that slang that you use and all that stuff. So it's not that important for your first year and stuff. And then 1 to 2 years is medium impact because, like I said, that's when people usually try to start businesses. That's when they try to start YouTube and all that stuff. And you might be getting more high-level friends at this point. You're 1 to 2 years in self-improvement. And then 2 to 3 years plus, it's definitely necessary because this is the point where on self-improvement, people might start coming to you for advice, coming for you for information and all that stuff, and being able to articulate your message and get your message across easily and smoothly is very, very important, and it'll make you a more likable person in general. Moving on to knowledge. Now, you might be questioning, why is my knowledge medium impact for your first 2 years of self-improvement? It's because, well, for your first year, let me explain your first year real quick. So your first year of self-improvement, knowledge can benefit you or can be a detriment to you for the simple reason that you can try to take in too much knowledge. You can try and get to know everything and get to know all this before you take action. And you try to take in all this knowledge and then you don't end up taking action. You just wasted your time doing a whole bunch of nothing. So for that first year, I said definitely gain some knowledge, but bro, personal experience beats everything, bro. Personal experience beats everything. So the most you can take action on these actionables or these fundamentals. Like take action as much as you can on these things so that you build your knowledge without trying to go to YouTube and all that stuff. Go experience it. And then 1 to 2 years, like I said, people start getting into business, start reading books and all that stuff. And then 2 to 3 years plus, again, it's necessary. People start going to you for advice at this point. So yeah, having that knowledge to give them, having that knowledge to provide will not only make people want to come to you for advice more, but it'll make you a lot more money. So yeah. Next we have martial arts. Now, for your first 6 months, I'm not gonna lie, and I don't mean this to be rude or put you down in any way. You're probably a pussy. You know, you're probably scared to go join a martial arts gym. But the only reason I don't have a low impact is because there's gonna be some people who are like, okay, let me go do martial arts. Let me go do kickboxing, jujitsu, boxing, Muay Thai, do all that stuff, bro. So I have a medium impact because it's an instant confidence boost. You know what I'm saying? Once you get in there and you really go in those hard days, bro. Like for example, with jujitsu, on no gi days, bro. Like we have gi and no gi days. On those no gi days, we're doing 6 minute rounds back to back to back. You're just sparring constantly for an hour and a half. So, and those are the days where you really test yourself. And once you walk out of that gym, you have a new level of confidence. You know, you walk with your chest out more. You have that confidence, like, okay, I can defend myself if it ever comes down to it. And the reason I have it medium or high impact for 6 months to a year is for the simple fact is you should definitely be doing martial arts at this point in your self-improvement, or at least take some beginner classes or something, bro. Like just learning to become a weapon and being able to defend yourself if necessary is important, because if you do not have the confidence that you can defend yourself when it comes down to it, you kind of walk around like a pussy. I'm not gonna lie. And I don't mean to get like hella red pill or anything like that, but it's just a simple truth. You know, I remember back in high school when I didn't know how to defend myself or I didn't know any types of martial arts or anything like that. I would always be nervous, like, oh, what if I get in a fight? I'd be nervous to stand up for myself because what if it results in a fight? What if I have to defend myself? I don't know how to. So definitely 6 months to a year, you should be looking to get into some martial arts. And like I said, jujitsu, kickboxing, Muay Thai, boxing. Don't really do taekwondo or karate or any of that stuff because one, the sports are watered down a lot and it's just harder to get into if you are a teenager, like most of you guys probably are. So yeah, but those first four I named are definitely easier to get into as an adult or as an older teenager. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. And then medium impact these last two stages for the simple fact, like you've experienced all the benefits already. Like you go to martial arts, you have the discipline, you have the grit from martial arts. So yeah, that's why I have a medium impact, not high impact anymore, but it's not completely low impact. But yeah. Moving on to the next actionable step, or next actionable you can do is cutting out bad friends. Now, this is something I have personal experience with. You know, a lot of your friends before you start self-improvement are just all around degenerates. They don't really care about seeing you win. They don't care about seeing you succeed. And to be honest, they honestly much rather see you lose and not do better than them. So it's very important that you cut out your bad friends, because think about it like crabs in a bucket, bro. Or I'm gonna use an experiment as an example. So there were 5 monkeys put into a room, and in this room there was a coconut at the top of the room, and there was a rope that the monkeys could climb up to get this coconut. Now think of the coconut as a better future, right? Now these monkeys, one monkey would try to go up, but when a monkey tried to go up and get the coconut, he got sprayed by water, or all the monkeys got sprayed by water. And so every time a monkey would go up and try and get the coconut, they all get sprayed by water. And it got to the point eventually where a monkey would think about going up to get that coconut. He start climbing the rope. The monkeys would drag him down, start beating him up, destroying his willpower. And then eventually the researchers would take out a monkey, put in a new monkey who didn't know he would get sprayed or beat up if he went for this coconut. So he went for the coconut. He went for the better future. He went for the better future, and the monkeys dragged him down, beat him up, destroyed his will, and the monkey no longer went for the coconut. He didn't even get sprayed by water. Next, eventually they would keep replacing the monkeys until there were 5 completely new monkeys who have never gotten sprayed by water. But none of them are going for the coconut. None of them are going for the better future. It's the same with bad friends. Your bad friends are going to, every time you talk about self-improvement, every time you talk about having a better future, your friends are going to drag you down. They're going to beat you up and destroy your will to get a better future. And not to mention, you're going to look at your friends. You're going to be having fun. They're going to be going to these parties. You're going to be talking to girls. And then you might look at self-improvement like, what's the point? What's the point of self-improvement? So that's why it's very important that you identify and cut out your bad friends. And it's a top priority for your first year. And it's high impact because your life instantly improves from it. You know, no one says they regret cutting out bad friends, bro. So, yeah. And then medium impact, 1 to 2 years, you probably like don't have any more bad friends. So it's not that important. And then low impact, 2 to 3 years. At this point on self-improvement, you should be able to vet people and know if they're a good person or not before you befriend them or spend a lot of time with them and all that stuff. So, yeah, that's why it's low impact. Next, we have getting a girlfriend. Now, think about this in the reverse. It is going to negatively impact your life in a bad way for your first year on self-improvement. Now, to be honest, I've never had a girlfriend, but I've seen it happen with the people I'm close to. They get a girlfriend, or they've been on their grind, but then eventually they get a girlfriend and all this stuff, and then they start slacking on the things that are important. They start eating out more. They start spending more time with the girl and all that stuff. And like I said, I don't mean to get super red pill. I'm not saying don't worry about girls. Girls are this and that, this and stuff. I love women, bro. I love women. But yeah, that first year of self-improvement, when you still haven't built that discipline yet, getting a girlfriend is going to be very detrimental to you. But eventually, as you move on, of course, once you've built that discipline, once you've built that willpower, it's just low impact. And at that point, at these stages of self-improvement, getting a girlfriend is going to benefit you more than anything. So yeah, but definitely your first year, bro. I'm not saying don't talk to women at all, but don't focus on getting a girlfriend. Like, it's very, very simple concept. Next, we have learning high income skills. Now, I'll get to this in the business section later, or I'll go into depth on the business section later, but definitely for your first 6 months of self-improvement, don't worry about learning any high income skills. Focus on building the foundations. Focus on building the real world, I guess you could say, skills or fundamentals for self-improvement. So it's not something you really have to worry about because you don't want too much on your plate at once. But definitely 6 months to a year, start looking at the things you can get into. Start learning some skills, learn sales, video editing, copy, all that shit, bro. And definitely 1 to 2 years, 2 to 3 years plus, it should be a high priority. It's high impact, top priority activities because, like I said, that's when people tend to get into business on their self-improvement stages. So yeah, learning high income skills is going to benefit you so much. Learning real world skills that are timeless, that you don't need a degree for, so important. Next, we just have the simple concept of eliminating BS. Eliminate all the things you don't like. Eliminate the things that don't benefit you. And this is very important for your first year so that you can make your self-improvement journey as streamlined as possible. This honestly should have been higher up in the actionables, but yeah, streamlining your self-improvement journey will make it so much easier. You know, you don't have to rely on discipline. You don't have to rely on motivation or anything like that. Simply eliminating your BS. It ties back to cutting bad friends, bro. Like, once you eliminate all the BS from your life, like, you gain a new level of mental clarity, bro. I can't explain it, but you work less, you gain more mental clarity. And that's why it's high impact, top priority your first year, because you've never had this mental clarity before. You never had this streamlined focus before. So it's going to impact your life in such a positive way for your first year. And then 1 to 2 years, 2 to 3 years, if you've done your due diligence here, bro, you don't have to worry about fucking eliminating BS, bro. You know, once you at this point of self-improvement, you have the knowledge, you have the discipline to not let any BS creep into your life. So yeah. Next, this bottom section, or these three right here, they're like challenges, I guess you can say, people do. So like we have dopamine detox, no fat for semen retention, and 75 hard. Now, when you're first starting self improvement, dopamine detoxing is necessary. Now, a lot of people have said like, "Oh, dopamine detoxing is useless." No, bro. Being able to step back from the artificial world of social media, stepping back from music, stepping back from mind numbing YouTube content, and really just experiencing life, it puts life in a whole new perspective for you. Start appreciating the little things more. So definitely for that first year, it is top priority, high impact on your life, and you should be doing it. Uh, I have 1 week in parentheses, but by that I mean like once a week every 2 months, once a week every 3 months. Do a little dopamine detox for a week. Like it's not gonna hurt you. And if you can't do a week, do 3 days. And you can't do 3 days, do 1 day every 2 weeks that you do a dopamine detox. But yeah, dopamine detoxing is something that will benefit your life heavily, bro. And in 1 or 2 years, you probably cut out all the nonsense like video games and all that stuff. And then 2 to 3 years, dopamine detoxing is low impact, just for the simple fact, like I said, you probably cut out all your bad habits, all the dopamine, all the instant gratification activities, and all that stuff. So yeah. Next, no fap semen retention. Now, my opinions on this are mixed. I definitely do not think you should be using porn at all, bro. But for your first 6 months, high impact, top priority. You gain mental clarity. People like can smell the retention on you in a way. You'll notice like girls make a lot more eye contact with you, but I would say definitely don't do no fap or or don't do semen retention for longer than 2.5 months, because then you start to get a little bit needy if you haven't done it before. I've noticed that. But yeah, definitely for 0 to 6 months, prioritize like semen retention. And then 6 months to a year, the impact on your life is just it slowly starts to decrease because you slowly start getting off of porn and all that stuff. So you're not even like reaching to touch your dick or nothing like that. So it's just low impact on your life. Like you're just doing it naturally. So you don't have to focus. And definitely with no fat, bro, or semen retention. Little tip, don't count the days. Don't beat yourself up if you relapse. Because that's just how you're going to keep relapsing. That's how you're going to keep making mistakes. So don't count the days. Don't beat yourself up. Learn from your mistakes on semen retention and no fat. Next, we have 75 hard. This is when you do like you have a protocol for 75 days. It's like a monk mode, but it's a little bit more intense, I would say. So definitely for your first year, I'd say don't do it. Slow impact on your life. You're not going to be able to stick to it. You're probably not even going to get to 2 weeks. But definitely 1 to 2 years or 2 to 3 years plus, 2 to 3 years plus is high impact on your life because you'll be able to get through it. You'll be able to do it and all that stuff. So yeah, it's a good way to, like I said, detach from the real world, or really just have a period of focus when you're working on your business and stuff like that. So that's why it's medium impact, high impact. And then next we have business. First year, don't focus on business. Focus on building yourself. Focus on making on, I wouldn't say like purposely make mistakes, but don't be afraid to make mistakes your first year. Learn from those mistakes, so then that can set you up for here in business, where if you get into content creation or anything like that, you have life experience from here, and you have experience that you can talk about that you've done in this year self-improvement. This is why it's so important to build the foundations and the fundamentals of your first year, because for majority of people, like they try to get into constant content creation, they try to get into self-improvement, making self-improvement content. So definitely experiencing self-improvement for this first year is so vital if you're going to get into content creation here. And it's high impact on your life because, again, like I said, it's when most people get into business. It's high impact for the simple fact that once you start making money, it's going to change your life. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I'm at $0 a month right now, but I've had periods of time where I've made money. I've had money coming in on a somewhat consistent basis. So I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like. And then definitely 2 to 3 years, it's top priority, high impact activity, because this is when you pretty much have all the general knowledge of self-improvement, or even like you built the fundamentals, you built the discipline to work on a business. So yeah, that's that for the actionables. I'm gonna take a sip of water real quick. But how's your day going, bro? You should drink some water too, I'm not gonna lie. Ah, fucking broke my water bottle like during the school year, bro. I dropped it when I was walking to class, just completely shattered into pieces. But back to the guide. Next, we have mental. Now, mental is basically things you should be telling yourself, things you should be practicing in your mind. And yeah, I mean, I'm gonna explain everything, bro. So it's kind of hard to group it all into one thing because there's a lot of different things here, as you can see. But yeah, I'm gonna literally explain every single one. So first one, we have mental health. Mental health should always be a priority. It should always be a priority. Um, but you can see I have it tail off as you progress on self improvement. But definitely mental health for your first 6 months is high impact, top priority. You know, you probably if you've never been disciplined, you probably have shit mental health. That's probably your reason. You probably struggle with the depression. You probably struggle with anxiety. And I do plan to make a full guide on dealing with your mental health. I've experienced depression. I've experienced anxiety. I just need to research more on anxiety because I know I had it. I just don't understand what's cure my anxiety, so I need to look more into it and make connections. But yeah, definitely prioritize your mental health for your first 6 months, bro. It's high impact. Your life is gonna be better. You're gonna be a more happier person in general. And I'm not saying you're gonna be a happy-go-lucky person all the time, but you're just gonna start looking at life in a different light, bro. You're gonna start enjoying life more. So definitely for your first 6 months, top priority. 6 months to a years, again, high impact on your life. And then as you can see, it tails off because at that point, like you're just not gonna let your mental health slip anymore. You know the things that are gonna destroy your mental health. So you're kind of at the point where it's just like you're in good. Your mental health is in good standing majority of the time. Next, we have confidence. Confidence is key. Confidence in yourself is one gonna propel you to do things that people deem impossible, and two is gonna make you more attractive as a person in general, not just to like girls and stuff. Confidence is something um that is something that a lot of people lack when they first start self improvement. Like, definitely, I was lacking self improvement, or lacking self. I was lacking confidence when I first started self improvement, but once I got confidence, bro, like again, I just became a happier person. I started enjoying life more. I talk to people like I don't have social anxiety. Like I'm not afraid to talk to people anymore. So yeah, for your first 6 months, definitely focus on building your confidence. Again, like doing these actionables and stuff like that, like hygiene, articulation, or yeah, articulation. I guess like learning how to speak properly without stuttering. You can see I still stutter sometimes, bro. But yeah, martial arts, cutting back front, all this stuff like in the actionables is gonna build your confidence, bro. So yeah, definitely focus on these actionables. You can see a lot of them are high priority or top priority, high impact in actionables for 0 to 6 months. So definitely focus on building your confidence. And then you can see like I have it tell off because for the simple fact, once you build your confidence here, like you keep your confidence. You don't lose confidence. Like that's something I noticed. You don't lose confidence. Like definitely before I had confidence, like if somebody like made a comment about my look, made a comment about my appearance and stuff like that, it definitely like would lower my confidence because that's just because I didn't have it. It will lower my self-esteem. But once you build confidence, when you have solid confidence, like nobody can take that away from you. Like you just don't lose it. So yeah, building confidence that first 6 months is key, bro. The next we have not giving a fuck. This kind of ties into confidence, but it's really just like not letting people impact the course of your life or change the course of your life just because of the opinions they don't voice to you. Now, a lot of people like, especially when they want to get into YouTube or even go to the gym or something like that, bro, they think people care about them, and the simple reality is nobody gives a fuck about you, bro. And I as harsh as that sounds, I care about you, bro, but the vast majority of people have their own problems going on in their heads. So it's like, why you letting these people impact you, like impact your decision making? Oh, I care what people think about me at the gym. I care what I look like. Bro, just go. It's gonna benefit your life. Why you care about what other people think? You know it's gonna benefit you. So yeah, definitely work on not giving a fuck. I have multiple videos on that on this channel. You can go look at them. But yeah, it tells off because once you learn to stop giving a fuck, like you just continue to stop giving fucks about anything, bro. So yeah. And then moving on to beliefs about yourself. For that first year, everything you tell yourself is so important because a lot of people have negative beliefs about themselves. Like they think, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. Bro, tell yourself you can. Tell yourself that you are somewhat attractive. Like, yeah, like having some type of delusion is gonna take you so far. You know, delusion is a lot of people who are successful are delusional. They told themselves they could do it. They told themselves, oh, I could build a good body. They told themselves, oh, I can make $1 million, I can make $2 million, etc. So it's like, yeah, everything you tell yourself, the inner dialogue you have with yourself is so important. So you can see, yeah, for this first year, it's high impact, top priority. Focus on telling yourself good things. Focus on telling yourself good thoughts. But also don't also be self accountable. And I'm gonna get to that in a second down the list. But yeah, tell yourself good things about yourself, bro. Focus on the good things that you do. And if you do make a mistake, if you do something bad, learn from it. You know, don't tell yourself, oh, I'm a loser for that, this, that, and stuff. Bro, this all ties into everything up here, bro. Beliefs about yourself. If you believe I don't give a fuck about what people think, you're not gonna give a fuck about what people think. If you believe you're a confident person, you're gonna have confidence. So yeah, the beliefs you tell yourself is important for that first year. But then, 1 to 2 years, 2 to 3 years, I have it medium impact because what I put it medium impact. I have it medium impact because at this point, like, to tell yourself good things, to have that type of delusion, like, okay, I can do this. Because when you tell yourself you can do something, you're gonna stick to it. When you tell yourself, oh, I can't do this, or I'm gonna struggle at this, you're not gonna be able to stick to it. So, like I said, this is when people get into business. This is when you have to have that mindset of, I can make a lot of money. I can do this. I can do that. I'm not an idiot. I can articulate my words and really influence people. Like, yeah, those beliefs you tell yourself is really important. Next, moving on to beliefs about money. Now, for your first year, like I said, you really shouldn't be focusing on business much for your first year of self-improvement, but definitely like start looking into money, learn how money works and all that stuff. But yeah, it shouldn't really be a priority. It's not going to impact your life much for that first year of self-improvement. But then definitely 1 to 2 years, 2 to 3 years, your beliefs about money are so important. Like a lot of people believe money is evil. They believe money doesn't buy happiness. They believe money is not in abundance. Money is abundance. Damn, my throat's getting dry. Money is in abundance for the people that work for it. Money solves a lot of real world problems. Money definitely buys happiness. So, yeah. Change your beliefs about money. A book I definitely recommend is Millionaire Fastlane. That completely changed the outlook on money for me, bro. But yeah. Get your beliefs about money in order. Next we have problem solving. Now, honestly, this should be medium, or this should be a high impact for everything. But yeah, being able to solve your own problems is important. A lot of people, as soon as they have a problem, they go scurry to YouTube and then they fall down a rabbit hole of watching a whole bunch of videos that don't matter. But yeah, being able to solve your own problems, work through your own problems is gonna set you up for the future when you have a family and all that stuff, bro. Like it's so important because if you keep relying on people to solve your own problems, bro, then you're gonna struggle. Once you come across a problem, you need to learn to be able to work through it, work through why you're having this problem and how to solve it so that you don't make that same problem again. You don't have the same problem again in the future. And I have it top priority for 1 to 2 years and 2 to 3 years plus because, like I said, that's when people get into business. Becoming an entrepreneur, you're gonna have a lot of problems that you're gonna have to solve on your own because entrepreneurship is a lonely road, bro. So yeah, you're gonna need to be able to solve your own problems. There's definitely gonna be resources on the internet and all that stuff, but for the most part, learn to solve those problems so you don't always have to go to the internet to figure out something. Next, we have the ability to take action. Now, this is high impact on your life, pretty much through all the self improvement. I have a medium impact for 2 to 3 years, and we'll get to that in a second. But for your first 6 months of self improvement, definitely work on just taking action, just doing stuff. Because a lot of people who start self improvement for that first 6 months, they like, okay, I want to get into weightlifting, but they don't go to the gym. They're like, okay, I want to start reading. They don't buy books, or they read books and don't do anything. They don't implement it into their life. So your ability to take action, working on that ability to take action is so important for your first 6 months because it's going to set you up well for the future. Next, or 6 months, yeah, 6 months to a year, 1 to 2 years, you pretty much learn to take action. Again, like people get into martial arts here, they start reading books and all that stuff. So that's why it's high impact on your life, being able to take action. And then 1 to 2 years, again, when people start businesses and stuff. So it's high impact, being able to take action on starting those businesses. And in 2 to 3 years plus, you probably have no issues with taking action. You know, once you have an idea, you start researching, you start going for it and stuff. So yeah, you really have no problems. So it's just medium impact on your life. Next, we have self accountability. Now, this self accountability is a skill. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Self accountability is a skill. I still have to remind myself everything that happens in my life is my fault. You know what I'm saying? If you are depressed, I'm sorry to say, it's probably your fault. If you are broke, it is your fault. You know, you have the ability to change the course of your life with just one decision, but instead you choose to blame outside factors that really don't that really didn't have an impact on your life. You just allowed it to. So yeah, self accountability is a skill that you should be working to build your whole self improvement journey. Just being able to hold yourself accountable for not going to the gym, not maybe meditating or stuff like that, not having good sleeping habits, playing video games, doing bad habits. Being self accountable for that first year is so important. And especially when you get into business, especially if you get into YouTube content creation, being able to be honest with yourself, like, okay, maybe I'm not making that good enough content. That's why I put a lot of time into this video. That's why this video is 41 minutes of me just talking about self-improvement topics, because I want to impact lives. I want to provide good value. I've gone through journaling. I've had inner dialogue with myself, just holding myself accountable. So yeah, just blaming other people and not holding yourself accountable will hold you back so much, bro. So just start taking self accountability. You make a mistake, it's your fault. Learn from it. Don't blame some bullshit ass outside factors. Next, we have stoicism. Now, this is when I added to the list late, but stoicism is key because as a man, you need to be able to control your emotions. You need to be able to keep your emotions in check. You need to be able to not let outside events affect you negatively. Yeah, be able not to let outside events affect you negatively. So yeah, stoicism is just the idea of being in control of your emotions, being in control of your own mind. So yeah, definitely for that first 6 months, definitely look into stoicism. There's a lot of good videos on stoicism, bro. A lot of stoic concepts. But yeah, for that first year, and definitely for your first 6 months, it's top priority. It's high impact on your life because you've been an emotional man up until this point in your life. You know what I'm saying? So being able to really control your emotions, dial in your emotions, be able to understand why you're feeling certain emotions and when to bring out certain emotions. Like I could feel anger if I want to, bro. I could feel sad if I want to. Like, yeah, being able to be stoic is very important. And I have a medium impact on your life because stuff is still going to happen to you, but you know, you're at the point where we're just natural to you. Like you just don't let it bother you that much. But yeah, life is gonna throw shit at you, bro, and you just need to be able to deal with it in a positive way. So yeah, stoicism is definitely the way. Now psychology. Honestly, I should change this to medium impact. You know, you can see I'm thinking about things and I'm going back. But yeah, 0 to 6 months, 6 months to a year. Psychology is important in terms of being able to conversate, being able to win friends. You know, a good book is How to Win Friends and Influence People. Is Some people might not view it as a psychology book, but it's definitely a psychology book. But yeah, being able to socialize, understanding like human nature and all that stuff is it's very important throughout your whole self improvement journey, and then it's definitely top priority when you get to 2 to 3 years, because that's when you get into business. You need to learn why people buy things, why people throw a bunch of money at random things and stuff like that. Being able to influence people if you're making content and stuff. So yeah, psychology is key. There's a lot of books again in my Discord that are on psychology, social skills, human nature, and all that stuff. Next, we're gonna move over to bad habits. Hold on. So yeah, bad habits. So here we got a list of bad habits, probably more. Don't get on my ass about it. I kind of threw this, like, I'm not gonna lie, I threw this last part together like fairly quickly without really thinking about it. But yeah. So first on the list we have video games. Now, Some people are gonna disagree with me. Some people are gonna agree with me. I have been a gamer pretty much my whole life. I stopped playing video games about, I would say, a year and a half ago. I would say, yeah, year and a half ago I stopped playing video games, and honestly, I felt the instant improvement to my life. You know, definitely, if you are at a point where you have that ability to take free time, you have that ability to, you're financially set, you're time independent, you're location independent, bro, video games are not gonna like be a detriment to your life. But definitely, like, for your first 6 months to a year, bro, cut the video games out. Like, just do it. You're gonna feel instant benefit to your life. And I do plan to make a video on quitting video games, how I quit video games and all that stuff. But yeah, quitting video games is gonna be an instant improvement to your life. Because think about it, bro. You're spending a whole bunch of time leveling up in a virtual world. Why not just do it in the real world? Gamify life. Make life a game. That's what you're addicted to. You're addicted to the games. And honestly, now that I think about it, now I just said that, you're more addicted to the fact that you can get it quickly in video games and stuff. You don't really have to work that hard in video games. But when you gamify life and you really like, okay, let me level up my strength stat. Let me level up my money and stuff like that. Like, yeah, like that's how you make life fun. Make life fun, bro. It doesn't need to be some intense bullshit all the time, bro. Make life fun. Next, we have porn/masturbation. Now, porn is something that I've definitely struggled with my whole life, or not my whole life, but since I was like 13, bro. But yeah, quitting porn is something that I'm still kind of working on at this point. But yeah, I'm getting there. I'm really getting there. But yeah, it's gonna be a detriment to your life. You're gonna struggle to talk to women. You're gonna have this false like concept of like sex in general, bro. So yeah, porn is something that corrupts your mind, and also just, bro, holding in your semen, bro, like that's your superpower, bro. That's your superpower. So yeah, when I get to that full point of completely quitting it, I will let you know how I did it. And then next we have action faking. I've talked about this before in this video. Taking action is important. A lot of people are action fakers. They'll sit around, do a lot of productive procrastination, watch a bunch of YouTube videos on stuff like that, and not take action. That's what I mean by action faking. It's something I did definitely a lot back in November when I was trying to start an SMMA and stuff like that. I watched a whole bunch of videos. I was literally in a Discord where this guy gave us a whole framework to work with, and I still didn't take action. I was fiddling with my domain, I was fiddling with Go High Level and all that shit, and I just didn't take action. But I definitely feel like if I started an SMMA now, I would definitely get to like 5K a month, bro, no problem. But yeah, my main focus is YouTube right now, building my audience. So yeah. Next, we have pointless YouTube content. Now, I do plan to make a video, well, remaking a video I made on my second channel talking about like dog shit self-improvement content. Because, bro, a lot of self-improvement content out here is straight dog shit, bro. Like, there's a lot of inauthentic motherfuckers, and to be honest, it kind of pisses me off a little bit that these guys are out here just being inauthentic and stuff. Like, I watched this one guy's video, and he was talking like, oh, I made a bunch of money from coaching calls and all that shit, and then I go look at his coaching link, and he doesn't even have time set up and all that shit. So it's just like, bro, why you lying about shit like that? Like, I could tell the dude was lying too. And you could be like, oh, you're just jealous. No, bro, like, if you watch the video, like, you could tell, like, this dude is just a straight up liar. But yeah, be careful about pointless self-improvement content. Like, full guys like these are very value filled and all that stuff, and that's what I'm more focusing on right now. But yeah, pointless YouTube content also ties into like watching fucking watching Beta Squad, Simon, and all that stuff. And the reason I use those examples is just sometimes, bro, I still indulge, but that's only after I've done a whole bunch of work, bro. That's only after, like, I've done recording, I've edited, I've uploaded, I made a thumbnail, all that stuff, bro. So it's the same as like going and watching a movie, bro. Like, it's fine to indulge in it here and there, but don't make it something that you do for 8 hours a day. Next, we have junk food. Junk food, pretty self-explanatory. Like, it ties back into weightlifting/fitness. If you eat a whole bunch of junk food and you're not exercising or anything like that, you're going to get fat and you're just going to have poor health. Next, alcohol. I never had any experience with alcohol. Never took a sip of alcohol in my life. But I know that a lot of people fall victim to alcohol, and it's a big distraction for a lot of people. And to be honest, I plan to not drink until I have like 100K in my bank account. So, yeah. Next, we have drugs. Again, never had any experience with drugs. Like, I've been around people who smoked and stuff, but never really done it myself. Never got into it myself. But yeah, just, bro, being all around conscious and here and present this whole time, bro. Like, I don't know why you need drugs to aid your happiness and all that stuff. Like, I never understood it and all that stuff. Like, I never understood vaping and all that. Like, what does it do for you? Seriously, ask just what does it do for you? So, yeah, I've never had any experience with that, but definitely if I have people who in my life who have experience with it and got away from it, I'll definitely like have them talk about it and stuff. But yeah, it's not something that I can really talk on because I've never done it or indulged in it before. Next, we have social media. Social media is a fake reality. I'm gonna get that straight out the way. Social media is a fake reality. People can curate any news they want. They can push any news they want to you. They can make you see what they want you to see. And all around, social media is just a breeding ground for comparison. And we all know comparison is gonna be is a detriment to your mental health. You know, you already have a good body, and then you see a guy with a better body, and it kind of fucks with your mind a little bit. You see your friends out there having a good time without you, it fucks with your mind a little bit. So yeah, bro, removing social media from your life is honestly the best thing you can do out of these things, bro. So yeah. Next, we have hanging out with bad friends. Comes back to cutting out bad friends. You're hanging out with bad friends, they're just gonna hold you back. I'm not gonna go much into depth on that because this video is already almost an hour. So yeah. Okay, now we're moving on to the business section of this guide. Now, I'm going to keep it a buck, or I'm going to be completely honest with you. I haven't done any of these businesses. I have experience with some of these businesses. I've tried to get into some of these businesses, and I've seen how some of these businesses work. That's why I don't have a whole fucking list of 15 businesses. These are things that I have experience with. These are things I've tried to get into. These are things that I have skills in. So, yeah. I'm going to take a sip of water real quick. Again, you should too. But yeah, let's get right into this. So, I base this criteria off of how easy it is to get into, the upside of it, and the sustainability. Just two kind of are the same, but yeah. So we have YouTube without upsells, YouTube with upsells, SMMA, SaaS, healthcare, copywriting, crypto shot stocks, thumbnail designer, video editor, sales, and 9-to-5 job. Now, let's start out. So we have S tier, which is the best tier. We have A, B, C, D, F, F being the worst. Now, YouTube without upsells. I have this at C for the simple fact that, you know, your whole business is reliant on if YouTube wants to pay you or not. YouTube has the ability to demonetize your videos at any point. They have the ability to take down any videos they don't like. So yeah, definitely YouTube without upsells. You're just relying on the hopes that, you know, YouTube decides to pay you out that month. And again, you probably don't make that much video. Like, bro, there are guys out here with fucking 30,000 subscribers making 10 to 15K a month versus guys with 1 million subscribers making barely crossing 4K a month. So yeah, YouTube without upsells. That's why I have it at C. Like, it could be good, but it could also be pretty bad at the same time. Next, YouTube with upsells. I have it at an A. The only reason I don't have it S tier is because the sustainability of it long term. So like, I'm thinking like private community, other stuff like that, like merch and all that stuff. It's not that sustainable because eventually people outgrow certain topics. Like, people outgrow video games, people outgrow self-improvement, and you might not believe it, but it happens, bro. Like, I don't want you to be keep watching self-improvement content. You know, I want you to get to a point to where you're at a point in your life where you don't need self-improvement content anymore. That's this point you should be striving to get to. So yeah, definitely like YouTube with upsells is definitely going to be good for like maybe 2 to 3 years, maybe 5 years, maybe 10 years. But it's not a real world business that's sustainable. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I don't have it S tier, but it's really A. It's A. It's easy to get into. It has a lot of upside, but it's just the sustainability of it. Next, we have SMMA. Now, the thing is with SMMA, it's a real world business, it has pretty much infinite upside, and it's sustainable. The only reason I have it at B is because it is very, very saturated. And now I know I say, oh, don't worry about what saturated people are looking for the crit. But really think about it, like there's a handful of businesses that are getting called every single day, getting 30 calls a day from guys who are claiming to be SMMA agencies. Now, like I said, with any saturated niche, there's a lot of people doing it good, there's a lot of people doing it bad. All you have to do is beat out the people who are doing it bad and mediocre. But yeah, it's definitely a good starter thing to get into, especially if you're not like me and you're just filling around with bullshit. Like, it's really easy to get into. But yeah, just keep in mind, like, a lot of the popular niches out there are very, very saturated, and a lot of these business owners are getting called 30 times a day by shitty agencies over and over again. So if you get into SMMA, make a good agency, make a good offer, provide value, try to change these people's lives. Do not focus on changing your own life. Next, we have SaaS, which is software as a service, and I have this S tier. It's a real world business. It's sustainable, has infinite upside. Could sell it for hundreds of millions of dollars. Yeah, it's S tier. Like, it's it's fairly easy to get into. You know, obviously, if you have a bigger budget to start out, like, it's way easier. But think about building a really, really good software, bro. Like, people buy it, people use it, and then eventually you sell it off for $100 million, $200 million. That's why it's S tier. It's a real business. You get what I'm saying? Software makes people billionaires. All the billionaire, most of the billionaires you see, bro, they built software. Bill Gates software, Elon Musk, Tesla, PayPal. Like, yeah, there's no other place I could really put software as a service. Like, you might need some coding, you know, if you're doing, especially if you're doing it at your own with no budget, you need to learn some coding. But if you have a budget, you can hire developers that will be very good and will really bring your vision to life, and will do it way quicker than you doing it on your own. So yeah. Next, we have house care, like lawn, cleaning windows, shoveling snow, raking leaves, all that stuff. I have this A tier because it's super easy to get into. It has a lot of upside and it's sustainable. The only reason I don't have this S tier is because you are going to be working in the business a lot if you aren't smart about it. You get what I'm saying? So it's A tier because you can make anywhere from $200 to $500 a day, bro. I remember me and my friends, bro, we literally went around with brooms, sweeping people's driveways when we were like 12 years old. We are sweeping people's driveways during the summer, and we got paid like $150 in like a matter of 2 to 3 hours, bro. Just sweeping driveways. Sweeping driveways and like sweeping garages. Like, we upselled. We didn't realize at this time, but we're upselling on sweeping their garages. We're like, oh, we'll sweep your garage for an extra $25. And bro, like, maybe it might have been the fact that we were kids, but also the fact, like, bro, people, like, they just buy to upkeep their house. Like, people never thought about sweeping their driveway, getting their driveway cleaned, but like we just marketed it. So yeah, it's like I got into it as a 12-year-old. You can get into it as a 13, 14, 15-year-old, bro. Like, if you're like, yeah, if you're in that bracket range of 13 to 15 years old, bro, house care, so easy to get into. You know, you need $200 to buy equipment, maybe $300 to buy equipment, and really all you need is transportation. Like, but for the most part, you're gonna be able to work in your neighborhood. You're gonna have returning clients in your neighborhood. So yeah, it's really easy to get into. Yeah, the only reason it's not S tier is because you're gonna be doing a lot of the manual work yourself. But yeah, it's definitely really easy to get into if you're looking to make some money, and if you're smart about it, you can scale it. Next, I keep hating if I have to come up with. Next, we have copywriting. Now, copywriting, it's an easy skill to learn. It's just the idea of getting into it. Now, I tried to become a copywriter, and to be honest, again, like I said, I was a heinous I was a notorious action faker. So I would learn all these skills and not even do outreach or nothing like that. But yeah, copywriting is definitely a lifelong skill. It's a sustainable skill. It's a skill that's always going to probably be needed. Because you really think about it, like, we have AI, we have ChatGPT and all that stuff, but eventually, like, it can't really sense emotions, and I think it's gonna get to a point where it's gonna be able to draw emotion through text. But for now, bro, copywriting, I have it at B. It's easy to get into. It has a lot of upside. Like you can get to 10K a month with clients and stuff like that. It's somewhat sustainable. So yeah, it's B tier. It's pretty average. Next, I'm gonna have a lot of NFT motherfuckers hate me. We have crypto stocks trading. It's hard to get into if you don't have a lot of money. It's not sustainable. Not a lot of upside to it. The only reason I don't have an F is because I know there's a lot, people making a lot of money doing this shit. But if you're a beginner, bro, don't even get into it. Don't even think about it. You know what I'm saying? Don't even think about it. Use crypts and stocks as a way to multiply your wealth. Don't use it as a way to get wealth, because you're not gonna get rich putting $100 into crypto every month. You're just not gonna get rich off of that, bro. You're not gonna get rich off of sitting with a nerd neck all day looking at charts. But yeah, definitely once you start building some wealth, once you start getting some money, getting some income in, definitely invest into stocks and crypto, multiply your wealth. But using it as your main path to wealth is not gonna get you far. I'm telling you right now, it's not gonna get you far. You're gonna probably end up losing a lot of money. And shit, if you're ballsy, do it. Prove me wrong. Do it. Prove me wrong. But that's just my personal opinion on it. Next, we have thumbnail designer. Now, I used to sell thumbnails for the measly price of $3. And if I can find it, I'm not gonna find it, bro. I can't be asked. I'm an hour in. I'm not even gonna look this far in to the editing. But I used to sell thumbnails for $3. Now, it was pretty easy to get into it. I just had to learn Photoshop. I just had to look at what good thumbnails were doing. And keep in mind, this was like, I'd say 3 years ago when I was playing Minecraft and all that stuff. I was making thumbnails for Minecraft YouTubers. And it took me 10 minutes to make the thumbnail. So if you really think about it, I was making like $18 an hour. So as a thumbnail designer. So yeah, pretty good, pretty easy to get into. If you get really good at it, I know you can make a lot of fucking money. And I see a lot of people who are thumbnail designers to couple that with YouTube strategy. So yeah, I have it as, what did I have it as? Oh, wait, I have it as B. Yeah, I have it as B. Yeah, it's sustainable, or it's not. I wouldn't say it's sustainable, but there's a lot of upside to it, especially if you get a lot of clients and stuff. They don't take that much time to make. I don't know about sustainability because it's kind of hard to think that it's going to be a lifelong, real long-term business. But it's definitely a good way to get yourself out there, to build businesses and all that stuff. But yeah, that's B tier for thumbnail design. Next, we have video editing. I have that as an A because good video editors are always in high demand. It's not something that can be done by AI as of yet. And you can definitely make a lot of money doing video editing. Video editing is a skill I have. I just never tried to monetize it. But definitely, like, it's sustainable. It has a lot of upside, and it's pretty easy to get into. A lot of you guys probably watching have gaming computers. So like, just download some crack software or something. Please don't ban me, YouTube. But you know what I mean. Get some software and start practicing. So yeah. Next, we have sales. Now, I have sales as S tier. I was just playing basketball with a friend this morning who does car sales. He's making a lot of money doing car sales. And he's 20. He just turned 20. He's in college. So, yeah, sales, easy to get into, sustainable, infinite upside. The thing is with sales, you make as much money as you want to make. You get paid for your hard work. So, it's really easy to get into. You don't need much experience, You go through training, you get all that stuff. But yeah, sales is definitely like something to get into. The only thing about it is, I guess you're working for a daddy or something like that. But for the most part, you make as much money as you want to make. There's infinite upside to sales. So that's why it's S tier. Now next, I'm going to have a lot of hardcore red pill or self improvement motherfuckers disagree with this. I have 9 to 5 job as a B, and honestly, it could be an A. But bro, there's no shame in having a 9 to 5 job. But to be honest, the only like I guess the only shame in having a 9 to 5 job is if you like work at like McDonald's or a grocery store or something. And not to put you down in any way, but it's like there's more out there. Like why you selling your life to McDonald's? Why you selling your life, signing your life away to Walmart? Like think about it. There's a lot more things you could be doing out here. You can be making a lot more money still working a 9 to 5. Like definitely like 9 to 5 is B tier because of high income jobs. Software engineer, hardware engineer, electrical engineering, but like being a doctor, lawyer, like 9 to 5 jobs, like there aren't all that bad. A lot of people demonize 9 to 5 jobs, but bro, some people just need that stability. Some people need that and like I'm not saying this like put them down anyway, put people down in any way, but some people want that stability. Some people want that um what's it called? That insurance, that reassuredness that they're gonna get their next paycheck. Because as an entrepreneur, you might not always know where your next paycheck is coming. So yeah, 9 to 5 jobs, like it's stable. It's stable. You just lose the if you're not in a high level or a high level career, you just lose the you lose financial, you lose time, you lose location freedom. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna switch it back to full screen. That was pretty much it for this self improvement guide. If you liked anything I said, feel free to subscribe. Feel free to join my Discord down in the description. Go join my Discord, bro. And yeah. Um I'm gonna have a lot of resources in the description, I think. But yeah, definitely join my Discord. There's a lot of resources in there that you can go look at. But yeah, this was the full self improvement guide. Go follow it. It will streamline self improvement for you, and that's a promise. But yeah, that's it. Stay up, stay blessed. See ya.